It was a dark and stormy night, and I had decided to watch a horror movie to pass the time. The clock struck midnight as I settled into my favorite spot on the couch, the glow of the TV casting eerie shadows on the walls. The movie was intense, and I was completely absorbed in the terrifying plot. As the credits rolled, I felt a chill run down my spine. The movie had been more frightening than I had anticipated, and I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. Suddenly, the lights in the house flickered and then went out, plunging me into darkness. I groaned in frustration, thinking it was just a power outage due to the storm outside. But as I sat there, I began to feel a creeping sense of dread. The darkness seemed to press in around me, making me feel claustrophobic and trapped. I fumbled for my phone to use as a flashlight, but as I turned it on, I realized the battery was low. The weak light cast eerie shadows on the walls, making me feel like I was surrounded by moving figures. As I waited for the power to come back on, I started to hear strange noises. At first, I thought it was just the wind or the house creaking, but then I heard footsteps. They were light, stealthy, and seemed to be coming from upstairs. My heart racing, I tried to convince myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But the footsteps grew louder, and I could sense movement in the darkness. I felt like I was being watched, and the air seemed to vibrate with malevolent energy. I knew I had to get out of there, but my legs felt heavy, as if rooted to the spot. The darkness seemed to be suffocating me, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was closing in around me. Suddenly, the footsteps stopped, and an oppressive silence fell over the house. I was holding my breath, waiting for something to happen, but there was nothing. The silence was deafening, and I felt like I was trapped in a living nightmare. As I sat there, frozen with fear, I started to feel a presence around me. It was as if the darkness itself had come to life, wrapping around me like a living entity. I tried to scream, but my voice was trapped in my throat. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, I heard my name being whispered. It was a soft, raspy voice, and it seemed to be coming from all around me. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized I was not alone in the house. The voice grew louder, more insistent, and I felt like I was being pulled towards it. I knew I had to get out of there, but my body seemed to be under some kind of control. The darkness was suffocating me, and I felt like I was being dragged down into the depths of hell. As the voice grew louder, the light suddenly flickered back to life. I was bathed in a warm, golden glow, and the darkness receded. But as I looked around, I realized that something was off. The room looked different. The shadows cast by the furniture seemed twisted and wrong. And then, I saw it. A figure standing in the doorway, watching me. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and I felt like I was staring into the face of pure evil. I screamed, and the figure vanished. The lights flickered again, and then went out, plunging me back into darkness. I was left alone, shaken, and wondering if I had really seen what I thought I had. As the night wore on, I couldn't shake off the feeling that I was being watched. The darkness seemed to press in around me, and I knew that I would never look at the world in the same way again. The horror movie had been just a movie, but the terror I experienced that night was all too real.